Hi, I'm Rob Cram, and today we're taking a look at Fable Anniversary on Xbox 360, which is coming out very soon and should be pleasing to fans of the series. So basically I'm going to take you on a journey. A journey from the Guild, which you'll all be familiar with if you've played the original Fable, all the way through to Oakvale. I have cut out a lot of the loading screens between each area, just for the sake of a more seamless transition. So playing Fable Anniversary, the first thing you'll notice is the complete revamp of the visuals. It's not just a higher resolution, it's the actual textures that have been redone, the models have been redone. So it feels like a completely new but familiar game. I mean, you could argue that you're playing the original Fable with the updated visuals of the later entries in the series, whereas pretty much everything else remains the same. This is a preview build I'm playing, and I'm not sure how representative this will be of the final finished product, but there are some sort of issues with frame rate, which hopefully will be ironed out in the final game. I'm not sure how old this particular build is, but aside from a few frame rate hiccups, the game plays pretty smoothly. Although you might feel that some of the combat is a bit basic by today's standards. I mean, as you can see here, I'm not really paying attention to blocking very much. I'm just swinging that sword. So I don't think they've changed too much the core element of the gameplay, but have done a fantastic job on the visuals. So this is really a trip down memory lane, a nostalgia trip for those who can remember the Xbox original all those years ago. So I'm kind of going the long way round. There is the option to teleport, which would have saved a lot of time, but then you wouldn't have experienced the beauty that is Albion remastered. So you'll get a nice view of the transition from dusk till dawn as we go through the Greatwood Lake. Playing a bit of chicken there. Didn't want to get bogged down too much in combat for the sake of running as quickly as possible so you could get to see as much of Albion within the 10 minutes or so. So Fable Anniversary features all the content from the Lost Chapters as well. So if you haven't played those, then this is a nice incentive. But they've also revamped the menus and added all these all-important achievements, which give the game a bit more depth and something more to work towards as you're playing, even though there's quite a bit off the beaten track that you can explore and discover for yourselves. So I'm kind of using the sword base gameplay here, but you can use ranged attacks with the bow and arrow, and of course there's magic. You have the choice to upgrade your character in those 3 different arts: physical, agility, and magic. I will say the game is still pretty easy to play though, in terms of challenge. Death isn't a consequence here. So aside from a few frame rate issues, some basic sort of gameplay, Fable Anniversary is definitely an improvement over its original form in terms of looks. I think everything else pretty much remains the same, which you can either view as a good or a bad thing. For a complete nostalgic experience, and it's great that they've kept the original gameplay, but from a new gamer perspective, it feels like a step backwards compared to, say, Fable 3, which kind of refined the combat elements. But saying that, it's still a fun game to play. And if you've never played the original Fable, then this is a decent adventure to jump into. The question is, are you prepared to pay the asking price? And perhaps even wait for an Xbox One version, if that ever sees the light of day. Well, I can vouch for in terms of content and how long it will take you to complete the game and get sort of 100%. That's quite a number of hours. You can sort of rush through the story, complete that quite quickly. But there's lots of side missions and extra stuff to mess around with. So in terms of value for money, definitely it's got enough content here. And our journey is almost complete as we head into Oakvale. Okay, well I think that gives you an idea of how Fable Anniversary is looking. I'm Rob Cram, and thanks for watching.